Okay, so not too long ago, I made this catapult. Now that's pretty cool and did quite a lot of damage. It also had custom wheels, which I quite liked, and that was the first time I did anything like that. I mean, it did have quite a few flaws, but it worked pretty well overall, and I quite enjoyed using it. But today I'm going to be trying to make an even better catapult, one that also reloads and does way more damage. But anyway, let's start. So I'm going to start with the base, as this is the most important bit. Now this is going to look more like a medieval catapult, now anyway, but when we add the reloading system, it probably won't. And now I've finished. It's pretty big and looks pretty cool. So now I'm going to work on the beam, which will actually hold the catapult arm and bucket. Now it doesn't look too bad, but it does look a bit out of place, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to make the catapult arm, which is going to be quite long since we're going to need to have this thing have quite a lot of power when it's throwing stuff. And now I'm actually going to work on the catapult bucket. Now this thing's going to be a circle, so it's not that hard to make, and hopefully it looks okay. So yeah, now I just got the whole catapult made, and it's pretty cool. The only problem is it's not functional at the moment. So now I'm going to make the boulder that the catapult actually throws. So my idea with this is that the boulder would actually split open and let out 8 large explosives. So it does quite a lot of damage as they spread. Now I don't know if this boulder will be too small, and if it is, we might have to make another one that's slightly smaller. But it's basically already done. So my idea is that we'd attach the top and then let out all the explosive, which is pretty simple. Now this thing looks a lot bigger on the outside than it does on the inside, which is kind of a problem, but we'll see what we can do. So now I'm making it so you can detach the top, which is going to be pretty useful for letting out the explosives. So now I'm going to try and fit them in. Now, here's the problem. This thing's actually a lot smaller than it looks, so I don't think I could fit all of them in. So I made a new boulder which is just slightly bigger, like by a few blocks on either side, and now we can fit all the explosives we want. So now I'm just going to attach some more explosives since this is going to have 8, so it should do quite a bit of damage. Now I've got everything hooked up to this one logic gate. Now that logic gate will detach everything, and it should work if I just do this. As you can see, everything detached except the actual lid, which is a problem, but it's pretty easy to solve, and we'll just have to do a bit more troubleshooting. As you can see, everything falls out when we do that. So yeah, now I'm hollowing one out. Now this one's basically going to use the actual end of the catapult, and it's going to probably be filled with thrusters, so we can actually have quite a lot of power. So my idea for this is that one set of thrusters will be on when the logic gate isn't on, and then one set of thrusters will be on when the logic gate is on. So when we press the switch, it'll basically make it go down, but when it's not on, it'll basically make it, well, reset. And as you can see, it flings this toilet seat quite far, which is a pretty good concept. So now I'm going to try and, well, hook up the actual boulder to the actual catapult. But it did not work at all. For some reason it detached the thing, and I do not know why, which is a bit confusing. So yeah, we just need to find a way for this to make this thing work, which is going to be not too hard. So now I'm just going to do this with a sensor. So for now, I'm just trying to fire one, and we'll do the reloading system later. So if this sensor doesn't detect the catapult bucket, then it will basically detach everything. Now let's see this in action. So as you can see, it fires the boulder, not very far at the moment, and detaches everything. Now, there's a few flaws, but it works pretty well for now. To be honest, it looks like the firing works most of the time. It doesn't fly it really far, but I am adding a few more thrusters every time. But anyway. Now I need to add some down thrusters because you can see it kind of starts flying away after you, well, use it. Now I'm just adding some down thrusters which will always be on using some logic gates. And this should help quite a bit. And it works quite a bit better. Some of the explosives even came out thing a bit, but we still need to find out a way to make them spread out more. I'm also going to add more downward thrusters because sometimes it starts to run away still when we use it. And that was actually not that bad. Now, of course, it is leaning a bit, but that doesn't matter too much as long as it doesn't run away. So now I'm basically adding thrusters. Now the idea is this will basically eject the lid off when it detaches, which will make it a lot better. Now let's test it out. So as you can see, it does kind of, but I'm pretty sure I did something wrong with the logic, and now it should work. I'm also going to add thrusters to the actual biggest part of the shell, and this should work a lot better. And as you can see, it does. The explosives all come out and cover quite a wide area, which could be pretty good. So now basically I'm adding the auto reloading system. Now basically this thing will basically all spin to load another one in. There's also lots of cardboard pins on the bottom of all the ammo, which will basically just be blocked by this. Now when I want to load another one on, I'll basically just break one of the pieces of cardboard and then it'll spin around and basically just load that one on, but when it gets to the next piece of cardboard it'll stop. So now I'm just going to add a spud gun, and I'm also making a spin with some thrusters. Now this should work. Kind of. It's not automatic yet and also doesn't turn properly, so there's a bit of troubleshooting, but it will work pretty soon. Of course, some of this wood got in the way, which is a bit annoying, but we'll just have to deal with it. So now I'm trying to automate it. That's pretty simple. So the first logic gate will basically start the turning of it to reload another one in, and then the second logic gate basically turn the firing mechanism on to basically fire it, and the other logic gate will basically turn it off. Here's that in action. Now there was a bit of a problem that, well, I didn't make the something tall enough, and now I'm making a spud gun that actually shoot the cardboard to make it actually break the cardboard. So I'm just going to try and get the right angle, and it should work. I also added another timer, which just make it a bit better. Now there are a few problems, but it should work now, kind of. So as you can see, it creates quite a long time to load because of how heavy these things are, but I can't really help it. Now I detach it and gets caught on the other thing. And that's not very good, but it's pretty easy to solve, and we just need to get rid of some thrusters. So this isn't too hard to do, just get rid of some and rebuild some of the boulders back on, and now it should work better. Now the problem with the one on the back is it'll definitely get blocked by, well, the catapult. So now we're just going to basically change all the cardboard out for actual boxes, because they're bigger and it's easier to hit with a spud gun. And also it means there's nothing for the actual catapult to hit, so it'll be a lot better. Now I also added this system to make it so it explodes. Well, no, it detaches when you throw it, which is going to be pretty helpful. Was pretty hard to do and took a long time, but now it should load on, throw it, and then it should detach all the explosive and throw them everywhere. Now you can see it works pretty well. Now it does detach a bit late, but it definitely works, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this thing pretty much works now. I need to basically change the timer a bit, but it definitely does work. So we can throw quite a few boulders now if we wanted, but now let's actually test it out. So there's this castle here, so let's destroy it. So I'm just going to add, driving, because we can't actually get over to the castle yet. And now we can kind of drive. It's just simple tank steering, and it works okay. But anyway. So yeah, this thing's done. It does quite a lot of damage, but isn't very reliable, and doesn't always hit in the same place. So yeah, it took quite a long time to make, and wasn't loads of fun to make, but it's still pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and bye! Yeah, this thing's pretty bad.